You see, you must have, as we were saying, SWOT analysis, right? Every rational human being does what we call SWOT analysis, right? You don't just take a decision or make decision without looking at the pros and cons. You know what we call pros and cons? The SWOT analysis, the advantages and the disadvantages. For example, to put it more simpler for you to understand, you need to be able to say, what am I going to gain from what I intend to do? What am I going to lose? Do I have the capability? Do I have the strength? Do I have the ability? What are the opportunities available for me to leverage, for me to be able to excel in this decision I want to make? Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. So those are the stuff we are talking about. Right. So by simple explanation, SWOT is an acronym, right? X stand for what? Strength. Okay, we say a simple but useful tool used for decision making. Essentially, SWOT analysis is a tool for making decisions. Right? That is all what it's all about. It's something that you can use till you die. It's not just only something that I'm teaching you to pass your exam. No. Till you go down to the grave, you're gonna be using this one, SWOT analysis. If you want to be making a good decision. Right. So S stands for strength. Where does my strength lie on in this thing, in what I'm going to do now? Do I have the capabilities? If not, how can I improve on my capabilities? Even if you don't have the strength, you can improve on it. Do you understand what I mean? Right. For example, before you perhaps took a decision to come and study entrepreneurship, you look at yourself, am I good in business subjects? Is it something that I'm going to perform? Perhaps I haven't done business subject before. I haven't taken business subject. Do you think I'm going to perform? Right. For example, you look at yourself, you want to do it, but you haven't done business subject before. You got a little bit of a weakness, but you are a fast learner. Oh, Jonga, you consider yourself to be a fast learner, even if you haven't taken subjects in business related field before. Being a fast learner is an advantage, it's a strength to you, right? It's a strength to you. For the fact that you haven't taken subject in business is a weakness to you, right? But you can work on it, right? By studying well in advance. So what I'm trying to say is this: you got strengths and weaknesses that you can control, right? It's within your control. You can control it. Opportunity and threat is available in the context, in the environment. You cannot control it. We're going to talk more about it, right? I will give you a simplified example of a personal SWOT analysis so that you're going to understand it. Does it make sense to you? So today I'm just introducing it to you for you to know the concept. So S stands for strength, W stands for weaknesses, O stands for opportunity, T stands for threat, right? We say the SWOT analysis allows us to plan properly. Obvious, of course, it helps one to plan properly, right? Then we can use our strength to our best advantage. You maximize your strength. You optimize your strength. How do you maximize your strength? You leverage your strength to the best, to the optimum, right? For you to be able to achieve what you want to achieve, right? If you are somebody that is a good runner. You optimize on that strength for you to be able to win a gold medal, perhaps in the Olympic, right? Whatever you're doing, you know you got the strength in doing that. You leverage it to be at the top, right? Then we can plan to improve our weaknesses and avoid the threats, like I told you, right? Then SWOT analysis show us the opportunity that we can seize. It presents to you the opportunities, right? What type of opportunities that are available for me to leverage based on my strength to achieve? Did you see how you use it to make decisions? Right. Look at around you. Look around you, man, and see the opportunities that are there. Take advantage of it or leverage it to make yourself some achieve, to be an achiever. You put in your strength, leverage your strength, and be an achiever, irrespective of the threat. Obviously, there will be threats available, right? Threats are things that can pull you down, right? That are beyond your control. But when you combine your strength, right, then with available opportunity, you can be able to minimize the impact of that threat and you excel in life. That is what we are talking about. Does it make sense to you? Right. Okay, let me give you a simple example. You remember those days, you know, Vincent, is it Vincent? Do I pronounce it correctly? This location here. Vincent, what do you call it? Vincent. Okay. Vincent. How do you call it? Huh? What do you call it? Okay. No problem. You know what I'm talking about. Hello. Hello. Younger. Whatever I call it, but you know what I'm talking about. Wait, there's no. Wait, sit down first. Don't be faster than your leg. You looking for register? It's too early, right? Perhaps he was not here last week. Cool down, my friend. I will give you the register to sign. Hello. You see what you've done now? You see, guys, can I tell you something? You know what it tells me now? That he's not interested in what I'm explaining here. It's dangerous. You can't just walk in and disturb the class now. You see, you are putting how many people to ransom now? Only you. You see, now I stop. It's not right. Don't do like that next time. When I was like you, listen, you know why we're having problem these days? Because the young generation, they don't listen. They got no respect. When I was like you, right? I was like you. I never one day walk to the teacher when the teacher is talking, explaining, and say, where is the register? Are you here to sign the register or are you here to learn? Huh? Yeah, you must wait. What is important is what I'm telling you. This one will come after. I said, please, Ayala. Okay. What I was trying to explain to you is this. You know, this location here, right? Those days, 2010, 2011, 2012, the population were not a lot, right? Okay. Since they introduced my city, you will agree with me what I'm trying to say now, and you have seen it already. Since they introduced my city, that means there is an opportunity, or it provides a lot of opportunity, right? Now, the population is growing. People are, some people left Danu, left other area to come and stay here because there is means of transport, right? Whether if you're working in the city or wherever you are working, you can stay here now and can mobilize yourself to anywhere. So my city infrastructure transportation provide a lot of opportunities for them. Moreover, you see this college. This college is providing another opportunity for people in the location. For example, the landlords. You know how many of our students are staying there? Many people come from Eastern Cape, they are renting there, right? Rent those days was very cheap, but because of the influx of people coming in, The rent is high. The landlord there, they are not making money. So with these facilities, it provided them opportunity for them to leverage to start doing business. If you go there, 2010, 2011, when I went there, we used to go there to recruit students. You won't see any single student to recruit there. Nothing. The whole places were locked. You see fowls, animals moving on the street. Last time I went there, I was shocked. I was shocked. I couldn't believe the places like this. Full, busy. You see, people are now taking that opportunity that is being provided to set up businesses and they are making it. Those are the things we are talking about. Right? Okay. Bayakut, we still have a lot of time. So look at it. This is a typical example of a personal SWOT analysis. It can come out in your exam, right? It comes out every year, SWOT analysis. When they give you, or when you are asked a question of such, you'll design a personal SWOT analysis, right? You can as well uh, customize this or take lessons from, knowledge from, based on the knowledge that you're going to learn here, you can be able to work on whatever first SWOT analysis you are asked to do. You see, it's always in four quadrants, right? Strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threat. This one is it's a kind of a personal SWOT analysis for a learner, for a student, right? In a classroom, for a specific subject. Perhaps, let's say, can we adapt it for entrepreneurship? Okay, yeah, entrepreneurship. Right. You see, in terms of the strength, the student is a smart learner. Being a smart learner is an advantage, right? Obviously, it positions you for you to be able to pass, right? To pass the subject. Then you have good in entrepreneurship. It's another added advantage. If you are good in entrepreneurship, no matter what, at the end of the day, you're gonna excel, right? Then popular with classmates. It's another kind of added advantage, right? If you are popular with your classmates, you can study together. When I mean popularity this time around, or being popular with your classmates, I'm not talking of the type of chomis that most of the students are making here. So chomis, you destroy yourself, right? Instead of you sitting down to study together, to read and interpret to each other, instead of you to cross-fertilize ideas, then you start talking of nasty stuff that will not help you. I'm not talking about that. The type of chomis that sit together to study, right? And you become popular among your classmates, then it's setting you up now by virtue of being a strength to you. Then what could be classified as weaknesses? Somebody that wastes time. Somebody that is wasting time, you instead of you to do things, to utilize your time to do what is required, then you start wasting the time. Time is money, right? Somebody that doesn't make use of his or her time, watching or you watch too much TV, or somebody that is untidy, right? How does untidiness constitute a weakness that can perhaps make a student not to do well in a specific subject, specifically entrepreneurship? Because if you are not tidy, if you are untidy, you know what I mean by untidy? Somebody that is not clean is dirty. You don't take care of somebody that doesn't take care of himself or herself is untidy, is not clean. How does that one be a weakness that can affect somebody not to perform in a classroom? It makes one to lack confidence. Confidence. Right. It makes you to lack confidence. If you look at yourself, you are not looking clean, you are looking untidy. For you to come to the class to sit with your peers, that confidence you will lose. But when you look smart, I'm not saying for you not to be untidy, you must put on expensive clothes. It's not like that. You must look clean, right? For example, if you are wearing a t-shirt, the t-shirt must be washed, look nice, you iron it. It doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. So it gives you that confidence. And that confidence itself can help you to excel among your peers. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Now, the opportunities that are available. For example, you have the opportunity of attending university, you got bursary, you can run your own business, you can give back to your family, you see, you got scholarship, this type of opportunity present. You take leverage of it. When I mean leverage means to take advantage of it, to help yourself, right? You got the opportunity of when you finish from here, your NCV level 4. Do you know you can go to varsity? You know about it. You can go to varsity. If you like, you go and study for a degree, right? Or a diploma. It's possible. So these are some of the opportunities. Or you can run your own business as the case may be, and you have the opportunity to support your family. These are things that can boost you. When you look at it, you say, I can gain this, I can be able to have access to this type of opportunity. Now let me take advantage of it and learn for me to acquire my certificate. Then you can obtain scholarship or whatever. Now let's talk about the threat. What could be the threat? For example, if one is sick, you could not be able to achieve anything. You see, sickness is not good, right? That is why you must always, by all means, I know sometimes it can be something you cannot avoid. Sickness can come anytime, right? I know, irrespective of how you take precautions, if it wants to happen, it happens. So if it does happen, it's gonna make one not to be able to achieve. Right? Peer pressure can make one not to achieve teenage pregnancy, crime, and all those type of stuff. So these are the things we are talking about, right? If they ask you in the exam, you can be able to say some of this stuff. So, as I said, SWOT analysis is an evaluation tool. Why do we call it an evaluation tool? Hello, focus. SWOT analysis, I take my bottle. That is why you're making noise. SWOT analysis is an evaluation tool. You use it to evaluate yourself. True of us. Yeah, you use it to evaluate yourself, right? To see if you are fit, right? For the kind of endeavor or initiative that you want to embark on, right? So there are certain other evaluation tools besides SWOT analysis. The first one is counseling and psychological services, right? Psychological services. You can go for counseling. From there, they advise you if you're going to be able to do what you intend to do, right? You got that kind of evaluation too. Then you got internet. You can use internet these days. There are certain apps in the internet whereby you need to evaluate if there is a kind of evaluation tool. I don't know whether some of you have seen it before. But there are some that do evaluate IQ level. You know what is IQ? You know what is an IQ? Intelligent quotient. There are certain platforms in the internet. If you want to evaluate how intelligent you are, they will ask you certain questions, you answer it, they will tell you your level of IQ, right? There are certain apps like that that does such. So such services are part of evaluation tools. Then career guidance. Like most universities, even here we got career guidance. When you apply, then when you finish your, what do you call that thing? Says, what do you call that thing you do in the computer? The test. I forgot now. What do you call it? Pace, right? When you did with your pace, when you done with your pace, I mean, what happened? You went for career guide counseling, right? So whereby they look at your performance and advise if you will be able to do, or if you can be able to do well in your course, your program of choice. There was something like that. So those ones are equally evaluation tool. So if they ask you in the exam to name evaluation tools, right? You can first of all start with SWOT analysis. Then you say counseling and psychological services. You can say using internet for personal assessment, career guidance, right? Okay. So those are the things we're talking about. Then credit worthiness. What do we mean by credit worthiness? To be credit worthy. You know what is credit? Hello, focus. You know what is credit? How many of you have ever credit? Don't lie. Okay, you are not lying. I'm playing with you. Okay, what I'm saying is this. Now guys, when you buy something to pay later, that means it's a credit, right? Yeah. But the thing is, it's not everybody that can be given such privilege. Is it everybody? There are certain people they are not credit worthy. When they buy something, you ask them to pay later, they run away. They don't pay. Sometimes they pay, but they don't pay on time. If you are doing that, it's dangerous, right? So it will affect your credit worthiness. Huh? Tomorrow I will get one, right? I keep there. So if you are not credit worthy, it's very dangerous in this country. You know about it, very dangerous. Because it may come to a point, listen, you can be blacklisted. You can be blacklisted. And if you are blacklisted, I'm telling you, it's like somebody is putting on top of your head 5 tons of stone. You cannot grow. You see, you must, hello, focus. You must avoid being blacklisted, right? When you bought something on credit and it's something that you need to be paying off instantly, please go and pay. Some they will say pay on the 15th of every month or 25th of every month or the last day of the month. Make sure. Hello, yeah, quiet. Who is this? No man, don't disturb. Quiet. So make sure that you pay. May go, please. Don't disturb. Then, so credit worthiness is a test that banks and suppliers use to see. Hello, oh, you got a tissue paper. Now you're making mess of my stuff. You see, it's following you. You see, go, it's following you. All right, credit worthiness. You see now, you see, it's turning my stuff. My AI is confused now, right? It's confused. All right. Credit worthiness. What it happens? This is what the bank is using, right? If you need a loan from the bank will ask you, where's your ID? Then they put it in the system. Wow. If you are blacklisted, it will show. But if you are a good payer, it will show you got a good credit record. Then the banks will like to do business with you, right? But if you are blacklisted, nobody would like to do business with you, most especially when it comes to giving you things on credit, right? Because your credit rating is very low or it's not worth it. So that is what we are talking about. A supplier used, we say credit worthiness is a test that banks and suppliers use to see how trustworthy, right? Underline that. You use it, they use it to see your trustworthiness. So if you are not trustworthy, no one will be able to give you things on credit. So the following questions are to be asked, things to consider when deciding someone credit worthiness. These are the things they try to find out. Your stability, your income. Do you have a fixed address? Or you live in a stable environment? If somebody is living in the street or on the street, you think if that person apply for a loan in the bank is not gonna give. Because that person in the first place, hello, quiet, quiet. Put your leg down, please sit properly. In the first place, that person doesn't have a fixed address, right? With that alone, the credit worthiness is being compromised. Then employment. They would like to find out whether you are gainfully employed, either part-time or part-time. You are not employed and you got no business. How can you go and apply for a loan? Nobody gonna listen to you, right? They will not grant it, and you will not be able to get such a requested loan. Income, they want to establish your income. What is your level of income? How much you are earning, right? For example, you cannot be earning 10,000 rand a month and you want to, let's say 5,000 rand a month. You want a loan or you want to buy a car to be paying off instantly a car of or a car that you need to pay an installment of, let's say, 6,000 rand, 7,000 rand. When they look at it, they look at your money, oh, 10,000. So the amount remaining, if you pay 7,000 rand installmentally for the car and you are paying a bond or rent, so at the end of the day, let's say 5,000. With that two items alone or two items of cost, it means you're not going to be able to afford it, right? They we try to look into that as well. Then the personal asset, whether you got a possession of something of value, right? This one helps again too. For example, if you got, let's say, land somewhere, right? Let's say the value of that land is 500,000 or 1,000,000 rand, and you need a loan of 100,000. They're gonna give to you. Then you use that land as a collateral security. The bank will be happy to do business with you because they know if you fail to pay that 100,000, they're gonna sell that land to make money, right? They will auction your land. So bank will be willing to do business with you easily because you got an asset. Then liabilities. They look at into your liabilities. What do we mean by liabilities? I mean this. Liabilities, I'm talking about this. Debt. If you are someone that have already owned a lot of money, you got a lot of debt, they will not like to add new debt to what you've owned already because it's becoming dangerous, riskier for them. Because you've not been able to settle the ones that you've owned, you want more again. So they wouldn't give to you. That affects your credit worthiness, right? In a negative way. Then tips to improve credit worthiness. If you want to improve your credit worthiness, what do? You need to open up a bank. You need to have a bank account, so to say. Then you get a legal source of income, be working, and then open up a credit account. Why do you need to open up a credit account? Because that is what they're going to use to check your profile, your credit rating. For example, if you got no credit account, how will they know your ability to pay? Right? Your responsiveness in paying. They will not be able to establish that. You need to have at least a credit account for a certain period of years. So they look at the trend to see how credit worthy you are in terms of your responsiveness to pay your debt, to pay your credit as the case may be. Yeah. So what is the time now? Huh? Period is over. Okay? Ask questions. Questions. Question time. If you don't ask me questions, I will ask you rather. You know those days when I was like you, when the teacher says he's gonna ask questions, you know what I do like this. You don't want the teacher to see your face, otherwise he's gonna ask you. Right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can call it a day here, right? Yeah. Let's call it a day. Have you signed? Huh? Sign your register. You're gonna use the time to sign the register. Huh? Huh? Can you stop it? Hold it on.